Alrighty guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we got the information relating to Broly's EZA. Now this comes out of shock to us because this celebration specifically has targeted mainly the extreme class characters and the extreme class buffs, I could say, for the new Frieza's, super bosses team. It would be this, or the new Frieza tag Gogeta, right? So with that being said, we were looking for maybe sort of a super class EZA with this. I know we were thinking the ROFs, but when we got the details that it would be the Broly during the September newsletter, we had to see what they were going to do to make these two busted. We have Broly first. We're going to do the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. He's getting his Super EZA. It's crazy because they made him good. Yeah, he's niche, and a lot of people are going to probably underrate this character rather than overrate him because of the fact that he is limited in the fact that he wants a certain type of rotation. He wants a certain type of team, if you will, because of this portion of his passive right here where he gets 3 turns from the character's entry. He's getting 26% damage reduction, and he's getting extra defense when all allies are either Exploding Rage or movie bosses. Now, when we look at that immediately, Exploding Rage is Broly's team. The only problem that I see with this version of the setup that they want you to run, Exploding Rage is very iffy because you have this Broly, obviously you have the STR Broly. You could kind of get away with running a little bit of an uncontrollable power team. I want to say that this Broly counts. I mean, he's aged a bit. I know you're on uncontrollable power as well. This Super Saiyan 2 Gohan should be. That's actually crazy. Wait. He's not on the category. Wow. Am I crazy or am I missing it? I feel like he was supposed to be on the category. Let me make sure I'm not. Yeah, no, he's not on he's on Exploding Rage, but he's not on. Oh, yeah. Now, here's the thing. You could just run a full Exploding Rage team, but then that would leave out a particular character. This Broly is still, to this day, I think he's very good. He has the damage reduction, the guard. He has the domain, which this team specifically doesn't have a character that is a domain character, but this Broly. But this Broly is very gated around you having his whole setup. He's only really good when he has his setup. And when he has the setup he needs, which is uncontrollable power, it's dominant. So for the most part, you're going to be just hoping and praying that this, EZA for this Broly is good enough to run in, just the movie bosses category. That's the thing. Now, movie bosses itself, it's very weird because with this Tech Golden Frieza and Gogeta character, it wants you to have a certain amount of extreme and then super class characters. The only problem is the super class characters that we have are not recent characters. They've only dived into the extreme side portion, which leads me to believe that we might get a special part 3 for the celebration, kind of like the GDC. We might get a special part 3 where we get a Goku and Vegeta from the same movie. It just doesn't make enough sense that they would leave this celebration so bare bone without us being able to really activate Gogeta's side of the passive. I mean, we can, but it's we have to go out of our way to do it. And we can go over movie bosses because Broly's going to be amazing for movie bosses. He's going to be a good tank, especially for certain bosses that have, say, different mechanics, that being what is it called? All type super, or seal in, lock in. He's gonna be good because he's gonna have damage reduction before he's attacking. So a lot of that is going to protect himself from just taking loads of damage. He's also a high damage dealer as well because Broly's getting this, he's getting this, and then also if there is just a pure Saiyan, Hybrid Saiyan, or Goku family category enemy, he's going to be guaranteed critting just off the rip. And with current content, he's going to be getting off a lot of damage. I will say that. I would have loved to see them make just this for at least longer than 3 turns. It's basically either the first 2 turns for him. But he's a support unit. Now, chat, with it being a super EZA, we knew they had to go crazy with it. So him being a support unit like this for 2 turns, it's gonna give a buff to the movie boss's character that he doesn't, that movie boss's characters that don't do enough damage, like this Broly, like say a Frieza, or say Broly when he's just getting started in the match. He's doing damage, but he's a character that wants to especially build up as well. So it's definitely something to look forward to. Definitely a good EZA or not a sub, but super EZA. And now here's the thing, right? So they dropped this Broly, and now immediately we're like, oh boy, what is he going to be? This Broly, to me, they did the same thing, kind of like what they did for the Sin from the Celebration, the GDC campaign, where he's not a support, but he's kind of a pseudo support, where he rainbow orb changes, which can help the rotation get key better, up the LRs, gain key, do more 18 key to 24 key supers and things like that. And he also has this orb, like he's a very high orb oriented character, which means his stats are based really off of orbs. For Sin Shenron, this is a lot of his deal, like, and also his downside sometimes, because it's just 4 key spheres, but not all the time are you able to get 4 key spheres. But he is orb changing, so it does help that he does orb change to kind of go against that. Broly, he's a little better, but they kind of left, I'd say, a little bit off the table. Whereas, yeah, he's right here. They left a little bit off the table. He's getting 60% damage reduction. Now, here's the thing. For a banner unit, this isn't crazy as a sub EZA. This isn't bad, and this isn't like super crazy good, because he does support with the rainbow orb changing. He has the damage reduction. But then they just lock away all of this. If the target enemy is 80% or less, if the target enemy is 50% or less, which is highly the reason because of this, the delivering the final blow, they want you to float this Broly and use him in slot 2 and that nature. And for me, I would have rather they tack on this ability. Like extreme class allies, maybe 2 key, 26% attacking defense. Why couldn't we do that for Broly? For this base Broly as well. I mean, he's on categories that he's not on a lot of categories as it is. That Broly's very, he's very niche because he's from, like, I think before they really see him in the Broly movie. He's on Planet Vampa, so he's not really doing a whole bunch a lot to get those categories. He's on 4. Yeah, they kind of, I'd say they missed the mark for making him like super good. I will say though, they did buff the ever living Christ out of this. The delivering the final blow, he gets 26% HP at the end of the turn. This might be crazy, low key. Like fully recovers HP at the end of the turn, but he has to deliver the final blow, and it's like, it's not guaranteed. He's super effective against all types. If we're lucky enough to get the 6 orbs, he's launching bare minimum 2 supers, 50% chance to crit. And if the HP of the enemy is low, then you're gonna get this, which would help him. But it's just, I think they kind of undersold just a little bit for this. Just a little bit. I think it's still a good EZA. Broly, though, the legendary Super Saiyan variant Broly, is going to be an absolute killer in difficult content. You just have to run him with extreme class movie bosses characters, and you basically have this whole thing active, except for this portion. You have to be really specific about this. But this isn't really doing anything crazy because he already has 26% chance to crit. 26% chance to crit. And it's like, okay, you don't really, you don't need that at all. So him also getting 260% defense when receiving attack, that busted mechanic. It originally started with the anniversary units, and then ever since, power creep is just allowing them to put that number up higher. I want to know who the first unit is that's going to get 300%. Because it was crazy to us when we saw Cell Max come into the game kind of after Beast Gohan, especially if you're on Global, and he just had such high stats, especially that he could build up to. In that sort of way, the power creep is looking like they're moving in that same direction, giving these units the same kind of kits to make them viable earlier in matches, instead of leaving them to being, forgot about in a month or so. Yeah, he has a good key mechanic to receive one additional key per key sphere. It's going to allow him to not soak up too much of the orbs because he's not that orb hungry. Launches additional super attack, that stays the same, but that's good because he's getting defense. And he's super attacking all. So it's a great thing when they have that, when you have that just for world tournament sake. So yeah, these two Brolys are going to be crazy. I just don't know for this Frieza's team, because that's the whole purpose of the celebration. We have Frieza that's tag Gogeta, but his team is kind of extreme class based, which honestly it's not bad. It allows him to pop his active skill turn 1, gives him the defense, the key, and it's a target mechanic for him, so he's going to be able to build up defense. But if nobody noticed, we can, but not to this highest effect. We can't really use this unless we have 3 or more superclass allies on the team. And Gogeta's effect is crazy because he's doing so much attacks. This is one of the more stronger active skills in the game, if you can pull this off, because he's super and he's going to be massively raising attacking defense, raising allies defense for 1 turn, and then he's going to have an active skill that he can pop right before it. 500% attack, defense, changes all key spheres. When he changes all key spheres, he's going to recover. So it's definitely looking like we might still have that part 3, just to see if we can get one more, Broly movie character, maybe a God Vegeta that transforms or tags into another, and say Goku. We could still get that character from the movie. They haven't been overrepresented well, or represented at all, even that much. Just the base form versions or Super Saiyan versions of them haven't been touched for animation, so we can definitely get that. But I think the Broly is definitely a hit. I think they nailed it right out of the box for that Broly. The STR banner unit that's getting his sub EZA, we'll later see in difficult content if he's going to be usable. But thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any more topics, just throw them down below in the comments, and I will definitely get to them. But that being said, I bid you all farewell.
How dare you defy a god! I will destroy you!
Your fight ends.